Have you ever thought about the Kardashians' toxic romances and what that means about the victim mentality and how to combat that? I'm tackling all of that in today's video coming up. Hey there. So I'm Rebecca Zung, and I've been recognized as a top attorney. I've written a couple of best-selling books. And what I do here is I help you negotiate with narcissists in a powerful way. So if that's something that you want, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, you hit that notification bell, and that way you'll get notified when I upload new content. So let's talk about the Kardashians and what they can teach us about a lot of different things, because they seem to have these patterns with these guys. You know, you've seen Khloe, she's been, dating guys that are cheating. She talks about that she wants love, but then she goes after guys that are known cheaters. And, you sort of think if it weren't a Kardashian, if this were your neighbor or your sister or your friend, you'd be like, why are you doing that? Right? Sometimes people just go after people that are toxic for them. And, even sometimes when people are saying things like revenge body and all of that, like Khloe was doing, that's basically like, I'm still a victim. I'm going after you. I want revenge on you. Real revenge is, I don't even care if you're alive or dead anymore. Namaste and walk away. I want to wipe you from the CPU of my life. I don't even want to know what you're doing anymore. I wish you well, but over there, revenge body is still like somebody else is involved with the conversation with you. And you don't necessarily want that. With Khloe, you also saw Lamar. He was already a drug addict. And a lot of times with narcissists, by the way, remember, you see those 3 deadly sins of marriage: abuse, addiction, and adultery, which I call the 3 A's. And so you seeing them going to like moth to a flame to these people who already have these problems before you're even in the relationship. That it's already there. And so, then they get surprised when it doesn't work out the way they think that it should, right? So, and I call them the relationship deal breakers, the 3 A's, the 3 deadly sins of marriage or a relationship, because that's where the integrity of the foundation of the relationship is broken. And by the way, I do have a whole video on the 3 deadly sins of marriage if you want to check that out. So, and then you go into Courtney, who was with Scott, who was also a cheater, who was also an alcoholic. I think a lot of times we end up in a situation we're not necessarily liking it, but it feels comfortable to us. It's like putting on those old sneakers that are probably like really bad for our feet, but they feel more comfortable than the new ones. And so, our neuronal patterns having us going towards something that's comfortable, even if it's not great. We had maybe things happen in our lives, especially as children. We were traumatized or something happened to us where we felt maybe not worthy, like maybe this is all I'm supposed to have, or maybe this is how relationships are supposed to look, or I'm not good enough to be loved in a different way, or maybe there's something wrong with love in a different way. Like this is a normal kind of a thing. And I think that happens sometimes. And that's why we end up in situations and relationships that aren't necessarily the best ones for us. And sometimes it's just a belief that we have, like a belief that we have about ourselves, a belief that we have that this is what we're worthy of, or a belief that we have that this is the way it's supposed to go, or I'm this type of person, or he's this type of person, or something like that. I love the quote from Abraham Hicks. And it says something like, a belief is just a thought that you've just kept thinking, right? It's not actually real. It's not like you can touch it, feel it, or manifest it. It's just something that exists in your brain and your mind. So even if you don't like toxicity, sometimes you will go for it. And then you go into Kim, of course, who has had her share of relationships as well. She had her quick little marriage. She's a person who wants her man to adore her, to cherish her, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But she had a situation with her first husband where he didn't necessarily do that. And now with Kanye, even though he adored her and worshiped the ground she walked on, he had a lot of issues. And if you want to know more about the real reason that Kim and Kanye are getting a divorce, definitely check out my video on that as well. But his crazy making was just a little too much for her, obviously. So, but let's talk about being a victim and how you can, well, first of all, I'm going to go into what it means to be a victim and the payoff that you can get sometimes for being a victim, and then how you can combat victim mentality. Okay. So the payoff for being a victim can be that you get a lot of attention. I mean, you see this a lot of times with covert passive aggressive narcissists, where they kind of are exist in this victim mode. And because there is a payoff for being a victim, you get lots of attention from people. People feel sorry for you. They pay attention to you. They want to take care of you. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this happened to you. And they get to make the other person wrong. So, if I'm a victim of cheating, then everybody feels sorry for me because my husband cheated. And on top of that, the payoff is that the person thinks that the husband is now a terrible person. So you feel like you've got somebody on your side as a result. And so there's a payoff for that as well. So you get all kinds of payoffs for being a victim. But the downside of being a victim is you're living as a victim, right? I mean, it's kind of like the obvious, but you don't ever get to create. You don't get to be empowered. You don't get to live a fully inspired life. You don't get to feel whole and complete. You're constantly in this victim mode, right? And by the way, if you are dealing with narcissists and you're feeling like this and you just don't know how to turn it around, I definitely want you to check out my video called Self-Care to Cope with Narcissists, because that will definitely give you some ideas on how to take care of yourself and feel better. So how do you combat that victim mentality? Well, the first thing I want you to know is that I've totally been there. Okay. I've been there. I've dealt with narcissists. I've had my share. Some of you have heard my story about how I was in Hawaii with my family, and I was standing there and I'm looking at this beautiful mountain, and I'm there with my daughter and my husband and friends. And it's like this amazing thing. And what am I thinking about in that moment? I'm thinking about a narcissist, and what is this narcissist doing, and what's happening, and what might this person do, or who's this person talking to, or what are they going to do to me next? And I realized in that moment that that person was stealing that moment from me. And in that moment, I thought to myself, no, you don't get to be here. You don't get to come to Hawaii with me. You don't get to be up here on this mountain with me. No, you have to go. And in that moment, I made a decision that I was going to be a victor and not a victim, right? There's a huge difference. And you have to choose. You have to choose. I'm a victor. And if you're a victor, I want you to put that in the comments right now. I'm a victor. You're not a victim, because if you're a victim, then you don't have control over the situation, and you'll never have control of the situation. So you've got to decide right now that you're no longer going to be a victim in this situation, that you're taking control of how it's going to go. All right. So another way that you can combat this victim mentality is to stop playing the what if game so that it ends up against you. I mean, you can what if yourself to death. What if this happens? What if they say that? What if they talk to these people? What if this money ends up going? If you're going to play the what if game, play the what if game so it works for you. Okay. What if this all works out the way I want it to? What if this person ends up leaving me alone? What if I end up creating an amazing life? What if this ends up being the best thing that ever happens to me and everything beyond here is amazing? So, if you're going to play the what if game, because it's just a pretend game anyway, why not play it so that it works in your favor? Okay. So, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to change your narrative. I want you to listen to your words. What are you saying? How are you saying it? Are you saying things like, I'm never going to win? Are you saying things like, I always attract bad people into my life? Are you saying things like, narcissists always find me? Because if you say things like that, remember, you are placing orders to the universe. Your words have power. So be really, really careful about the kinds of things that you are saying. Stop saying things like, the narcissist always wins. I can never get my way. I'll never win this part of the negotiation. I'll never get that. Those kinds of words are limiting you, and they keep you as a victim. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to take action steps every single day. I mean, one of the things you can definitely do right away is start a gratitude journal. Write 10 things down a day that you are grateful for. And it will start to immediately shift, because let me tell you, you cannot get more good things into your life unless you're grateful for the ones that you have. You have to be in receiving mode, and you can't be in receiving mode if you're in victim mode. You have to be in receiving. I'm receiving gifts. I'm receiving good things. It's all happening. Things are working out the way they are supposed to. And when you start thinking that and you start taking action steps every single day toward not being a victim, one day you're going to wake up and you're go, hey, wait a minute. I turned this whole thing around. I'm no longer a victim. It worked out the exact way I wanted it to. Okay. And the last thing I want you to do is I want you to start pivoting. Like when you start thinking those bad thoughts, when you start thinking about what that person might be doing to you, or what they're, what's happening or whatever, I want you to find a way to pivot. I want you to find a way to put your thoughts towards something else. What are you creating? What are you making in the world? Or listen to something that's going to motivate you and inspire you. Listen to audiobooks, listen to YouTube, or whatever it is that's going to inspire you, and take your mind off of this situation. Stop being a victim. You can turn this around. Wherever you are now, that's the jumping off point. And as part of you not being a victim, I want you to go ahead and grab my free Crush My Negotiation Prep Worksheet. It's at winmynegotiation.com. It's an ebook. It's 15 pages and it's totally free. So why not just go ahead and grab it? And if you want to join my free private Facebook group, you are certainly welcome to do that as well. It's Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung. Lots of people in there supporting each other, and I'd love to have you join there as well. And if you like this video, give it a like, give it a share, drop me that comment. Tell me I'm a victor. I want to know. I want to see you say it. That's your first step, is saying it. All right. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, now is a great time to do that. Subscribe and hit that notification bell. And as always, remember that today is a great day to start negotiating your best life. I will see you in the next video.